Hey, Gary.
Hello.
How you doing up there?
Good, sir.
All right, and again, I'm Rob.
Rob?
Are you excited about this?
I am.
Awesome. So you've flown a little bit, huh?
One time in a Cessna and then several times in helicopter.
Okay, well, the helicopters don't count at all. And you're very brave to get it. You won't see me in a helicopter.
Yes,
So
I understand.
there's no way.
Yeah.
Hey, so let's go ahead and go through a little bit of a checklist. So what I want, are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right.
Grab the stick with your right hand, and I want you to move the stick left and right. And then when you do that, Gary, look out here. Look out here. Look what you're moving. See the ailerons out here?
Yes.
One goes up, the other goes down. And so that's what we're going to be using to make the airplane roll left and roll right. Okay? Bring the stick all the way back to your lap. All the way back. Look in that mirror on the top wing. Look up, up. See that little mirror?
Yeah.
If you move your head around, you'll see your elevator back behind you. No, look in the mirror.
Oh, in the
Yeah,
mirror.
and you see it back there?
Yes.
So when you want to go up, you pull the stick back. When you want to go down, you pull the stick. You push the stick forward. Pretty simple.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing a lot of turns left and right because when you do a turn in an airplane, you have to use the stick left and right and the rudder pedals left and right. Okay, and so that's why we're going to be doing a lot of those. And once we get in the air, I'll show you how that works. Top row of instruments, if you look up there, you see it says ALT. Do you see? You know what that means?
Altitude.
Altitude. The long needle is in hundreds of feet. The short needle is in thousands of feet. Right now it says 500 feet because, Jackson, we're at 500 feet above sea level.
Okay.
That's what we care about, how high we are above sea level. I don't really actually care about that. I care about how high above the ground I am, right?
Yeah, right.
So when we're at like 1,300 feet or 1,400 feet, remember we're going to have to kind of subtract 500 feet because we're starting off at 500. So we'll be about 700 or 800 feet above the ground. Next in line is your airspeed indicator. It tells you what it does. It says MPH right there. And then the last thing I want you to look at is that little black ball, two little white lines, and that's your bubble level. And that's going to tell you how much rudder pedal pressure to use in a turn. Now, once we get off the ground, Gary, I'm going to show you how all that stuff works. Once you see it, you'll say, okay, I got it. Now, for now, just hold on to that stick and have your feet on the floorboards, not on the pedals. There we go. We're going to taxi on out. I'm going to contact the tower guys here.
Okay.
Do you see those little wires that are right ahead of the windscreen? Straight ahead of you, about 3 feet. They go up on an angle. You see them there?
Good.
Okay. Those wires, they're at a 45-degree angle to the horizon right now. 45 degrees. And so the idea is if we know that our horizon tells us that we're level, if you look out there, you can kind of see what bank angle we're at. So the first thing we want is some shallow turns, and we'll kind of be using that as a reference up there today.
Okay.
All right. All right. So, yeah, I hear you. That was a big sigh right there.
Yeah.
So here's a couple of words of advice. The first thing is this. When you're flying the airplane, you don't want to have a death grip on the stick, because if you have a really tight grip on the stick, your hand's going to cramp in about like 3 or 4 minutes, and then you're going to be using your other hand. And then I've actually had some people fly the airplane with 2 hands. It's not what you want. So you want to hold it with a loose grip with your right hand. The other thing is if you look outside the airplane the majority of the time, you're going to do great. Now, if you want to stare at instruments, we should be flying that helicopter right there. So for takeoff, I'm going to have you just hold on to the stick so you can feel what I'm doing.
Okay.
But because of what Jill was telling you, because of on the tops of the pedals, that's where the brakes are. I want your feet on the floorboards, not on the pedals for takeoff. Once we get off the ground, at that point, I'll have you put your feet on the pedals.
Okay.
All right? Are you ready?
For takeoff, wind calm. 4-3, are we cleared ahead of the Stearman?
Stearman's ready to go at runway 11.
Traveler 4-3. Yeah, just hold behind him. He just called ready. There was room to get around him, though. Stearman 412, runway 11, clear for takeoff on course.
Clear for takeoff on course, 412. All right, cool. Here we go. Hey, guess what? Beautiful day to fly. You'll never forget today.
Good.
So we're heading on out here. So the idea on the takeoff, Gary, is you look straight ahead and you focus on infinity. And when you do that, peripherally, out of the corners of your eyes, you can see that we're going straight down the runway. We're going to bring the power on in here. That's full bore right there. So the airplane's accelerating, going down the runway. The tail's starting to come off the ground. She's ready to fly right now. We're going to gently bring the stick back and bring her in the air. And away we go. Gary, go ahead and put your feet on the rudder pedals down there. Heels on the floorboards. We're going to climb straight ahead. If you look at your airspeed indicator, we're going about, what, 80 miles an hour right now. And 75 to 80 is the airspeed we want for the climb out. The first thing we're going to do here together is learn how to turn it. This is how this thing works. When you make a right-hand turn, what I want you to do is just gently ease the stick to the right. She's going to roll to your right. You get the angle of bank that you want. You bring the stick back to neutral. Good. Now look at that little black ball in your instrument panel. See how that ball's out to the right a little bit? Push forward on the right pedal until that ball comes back in the middle. You have to use a little right rudder on a right-hand turn. Good. Just keep it coming right. You're doing great. Good. Let's go ahead and roll the wings back to level. So Gary, what I want you to do is ease the stick to your left. She's going to roll wings back to level. When the wings are level, stick back to neutral. Good. Let's try a left-hand turn. So ease the stick to your left. She's going to roll to the left. You get the angle of bank that you want. Stick back to neutral. Now here's the thing on the rudder pedal. When you make a left-hand turn, you don't have to use any left rudder because the torque of the engine does that for you. So when you go to the right, you have to use right rudder, but none to the left. Let's roll the wings back to level. So ease the stick to your right. And let's make a right-hand turn. There you go, good. Remember to push forward a little bit on that right pedal. There you go, good. If you look at your upper left-hand instrument, right now we're at about 1,000 feet above sea level. And remember, we started off at 500 feet. Good. So you can see that it's pretty sensitive. It doesn't take a lot of movement to get the airplane to do what you want it to do. Let's do another left-hand turn. There you go. Bring the stick back to neutral. Remember, we don't have to use any left rudder at all. Pretty simple. Now you see right down here, Gary, there's a road right here. This road is east and west. So what I want you to do is let's make a right-hand turn. Let's follow that road. We're going to go out to the west. So you ease the stick to your right. She's going to roll to your right. You get the angle of bank that you want. You add a little right rudder. Follow that road right there, east and west. You're doing great. Good. Super. And then we'll roll the wings back to level. So you just stick to your left. So a quick glance at your upper left-hand instrument says we're at 1,200 feet. Minus 500 feet that we started at gives us about 700 feet above the ground. And you know what? That's plenty high. Let's go ahead and lower the nose to what you think is level flight. Good. You doing okay? All right. If you look at me in the mirror, I let go of the stick after the second turn. So you've been doing all these on your own. Good. Okay. Here we go on our lesson. If you, again, look at those wires. They're 45 degrees. We're going to the west right now. Let's do a U-turn, a 180-degree turn to your right. And let's do about a 30-degree angle of bank. Good. Hold it right right there. Perfect. If you look off your right wing, you'll see those wires down there, those power lines. Those are east and west, so keep it going right until we're going back to the east. That's 90 degrees. Good, just keep it going right. You see those power lines there. Great. That's a 180. Great job, Gary. Let's roll the wings back to level. Let's try one of those to your left. Same thing. Let's go back to the west. Don't worry about that bump. Don't let Mother Nature screw with you. You're doing great. So we'll do a 30-degree angle of bank turn to our left. Remember, we don't have to use any left rudder at all. Good. Awesome. Look how easy this is. I love what you're doing. I'm watching you in that mirror. You're looking outside the airplane. Great job. You listen to my instructions. This is how you fly it right here. That's 90 degrees there. Your power lines are back behind you. So east is this way. Well, I'm sorry, that's west. Good. And then we'll go ahead and roll the wings back to level. So far, so good? Gary, you doing okay?
Good.
Okay, I think if you put that microphone closer to your mouth, I'll be able to hear you better. So here's what's next. Let's do a big circle in the sky, all right? So again, focus in on those wires. They're 45 degrees. Let's do a 360-degree turn to your left. Put that left wire parallel to the horizon and a little bit above the horizon, and that'll be a level turn in the sky. Good. That's 90 degrees, a little steeper to your left. Keep that wire above the horizon. If the wire falls below the horizon, like we're going downhill, so bring the nose up a little bit. There you go, good. That's 180. You're doing great, 270 degrees. Good. And there's those wires off your right wing. I'm sorry, left wing. We'll roll the wings back to level. What do you think? Pretty cool?
That's cool.
Yeah, good. Let's try one. I hear ya. Let's try one to your right. Same deal, but remember, you're going to have to use that right rudder. So put that right wire parallel with the horizon. There you go.
Jacksonville Tower over 2323 is...
That's 90 degrees. If you can't see that wire, you can use this road underneath us. That's basically east-west. That's going to be a 180 right there. You're doing great. 270 degrees is there. Bring that nose up a little bit more for me. There you go. And there's that road off your right wing, Gary. We're parallel to that. That means it's a 360. We'll roll the wings back to level. So you just stick to your left. That's how you turn an airplane. Pretty cool, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, you'll never forget today. I'll tell you what, let's go up a little higher. So bring the nose up a little bit for me. There you go. Okay, this next maneuver we're going to do is actually called a lazy 8. So what it is we're going to make some more turns left and right, but now we're going to go up and down at the same time. So Gary, I'm going to come on the controls with you. We're going to try a half of a lazy 8 together. So here I am with you, okay? All right, so just feel what I do. All right, so we're going to start off with a shallow turn to our left. That's all the angle of bank you want. That's really shallow right there. Then we're going to gently bring the nose up. Hold that stick right there. Don't move the stick at all. If you listen to the airplane, you can hear the airplane slowing down. Right now, gravity is pulling the nose through the horizon. Let the nose come through. Now listen to the airplane. 75, 80, 85, 90. There's 95, there's 100 miles an hour. We're going to gently roll the wings back to level. Bring the nose up, and you're going the other direction. So it's a 180-degree turn with a little bit of pitch. What'd you think about that?
Let's go.
All right, airplane's yours. I'm gonna have you do them. All right, we're in level flight. Shallow turn to your left, and then bring the nose up. Freeze the stick right there. Don't move anything. Look over your left shoulder. Look how slow this is. They call it lazy for a reason. Here comes the nose. We're going downhill. Good. Start rolling it right, and bring the nose up. Right and up. Great. That's one to your left. Nice job. Okay. Let's try one to your right. The only difference here is rudder. You're going to have to use a little rudder over the top, okay? Let's try it. So shallow turn, bring the nose up, up. Now hold that stick right there. Don't move the stick at all. Push on that right rudder. Right rudder, more. Here comes the nose to the horizon. There. We're going downhill. Listen to it. Good. Start rolling it left. And bring the nose up. Left, and up. We're going about 105, 110. Pretty cool, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right, here's what's next. We want one to the left, followed by one to the right. No stopping in between the two. All right, I'll talk you through it. It's not a big deal. Let's try it. Shallow turn to your left, bring the nose up. Hold it right there. She's slowing down. Here comes the nose to the horizon. Good. Start rolling it to your right and bring the nose up. Right, harder to the right, right and up. There's 115 miles an hour, 10 degrees, right, Gary?
Wow.
Yeah. And up you go. Remember, on this one, you got to use that right rudder. So start pushing on that right rudder pedal. More right rudder. Cool. And then downhill she flies. Back to the left. We'll bring the nose on up, and that's a lazy 8. So what do you think so far? Does it fly like you thought it was going to fly? Is it better? Is it easier, harder? What do you think?
It's, I'm still thinking you really got this. I don't.
I don't have anything. Yeah, so easy to stick to your left. Make a left-hand turn. Just so I'm not touching anything back here. Just so you know, if you look at me in the mirror, I mean, I've got my hands out here. You think everybody thinks I'm flying it because the stick's so heavy. All right, I got one more thing for you. Give you some more power. All right, what I want you to do is roll the wings back to level. There you go. All right, so go ahead and lower that nose. So what I'm going to do here for you, Gary, is I want you to do your best to keep the wings level for me, okay? I'm going to gently bring the power back so it's not so loud.
Land number 2.
Now, gently lower the nose.
Good, land number 2.
Tell me when you can hear the whistle of the wind in the wires. Can you hear that whistle?
Yeah.
Good, we're going about 100 miles an hour. Bring it back to level flight. Good, now listen to it. Do you hear it slowing down? Good, bring the nose up some more. Bring the stick back. Good, bring the stick back some more. Hold that stick right there. Right about now, the airplane can no longer fly any slower than this, so it's stalling right now. The nose is gently falling through the horizon on its own. Now listen to it. You'll hear it speed up. More air goes over the wings, creates more lift, and look at the nose. It's coming right back up to level flight. So if you listen to the airplane, she's always talking to you. You don't need to look at a stinking airspeed indicator to know how fast you're going. And that's how you fly a plane. I've taught you right now how to go left and right, up and down, and fast and slow. Awesome. Let's make a left-hand turn. I want you to climb up a little higher. Good, we'll roll the wings back to level right about here. What do you think? think, Gary, you'll never forget today, huh?
No doubt about
Oh,
it.
man.
Never.
You're flying a World War II plane. I mean, you're not flying in one, you're flying one. That's awesome.
It is. Absolutely.
All right, so here's what's next. Actually, we got time. Let's try another turn. You can go left or right, your choice, and you can go as steep as you want. There you go, good. Now, about 5 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago, we were doing a 45-degree angle of bank turn. You were like, whoa, that's really steep. Now you just chose to do this on your own. Huh? Good, just keep it coming left. You're doing great. Keep it coming left. Keep it coming left. I'm going to contact the tower here.
Over 2323, you still on frequency?
To the right.
Over 2223, on frequency.
Over 2223, go ahead with reback for 2310.
Hey, over 2310 is cleared to St. Louis. Climb maintain 3000, expect 6010 minutes after departure. 134.65
You're doing great.
1345.
You see the airport on your right?
Reback's correct, we're talking a little bit.
You see the runway right there? Let me contact the tower. Jackson Tower, Stearman 412, we're on a right base for 11.
Stearman 412, Jackson Tower. Runway 11, clear to land. Traffic depart 20 is a Cessna.
Clear to land, runway 11, and we're looking for that traffic. All right, so Gary, here's what this is what I want you to do. I want you to line up there and put that runway down there, okay? Can you hear that whistle of the wind in the wires? Should be telling you that we got plenty of speed. Good. Perfect. How easy is this? You thought that flying was going to be hard.
I did.
Yeah, it's easy. Good. Now there's a little tiny bit of wind right to left. What's crazy is you can't see over the nose, and so there's a technique that we're going to be using to land this thing. There's the runway right there. Good. Right over the nose. You're looking good. We have some power lines up here. We're going to be way over the top of those. Going to start bringing the power back. There's your runway right there. Great job. Yeah, you see it? Yes. Get it all lined up there. Gary, I'll tell you what. I got the airplane here, so just let go of the stick and have your feet on the floor. Now this is kind of cool. Listen to this. So listen to this. We're right above the runway. And we're on the ground.
Cool.
Isn't that cool? Yeah. So I was kind of harping on you, telling you listen to the whistle of the wind in the wires, because when you learn how to land this thing, I'm not looking at an airspeed indicator, because if I'm looking at a gauge, then no one's flying the plane. So what I do, I'm just listening to it. And when it gets really quiet, we need to be on the ground. It's that simple.
Yeah.
You did it.
Yeah, that was
That's
awesome.
That was it. Yep.
Several times I thought the old heart was going to stop.
Yeah, and the thing is, you just have to push through that, because you've done something for the first time today. You know, this is no Cessna. It's a real trainer, you know, it's a real cool.
Stearman 412, Charlie to the ramp.
412. So what we're going to do is we're going to taxi on over here, and we'll get you out. And I really do appreciate you coming out today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. And
tomorrow's my birthday.
is that right?
Yes.
Man.
So,
You tell everybody you flew a Boeing Stearman for your birthday. That is all. They don't. Tomorrow, next year is going to be tough to beat this.
Right. One off the old bucket list.
Jackson Tower 64005.
Turn that off. You don't need that anymore. All right. So we're heading on in here. And then this is the airplane here off your left, this Caravan. You can go to St. Louis in this, you go down to Atlanta, and then Destin, I think. There's a flight to Destin.
Big planes scare me.
Yeah, they do too. I like these small ones.
That's
'Cause I can
know.
stick this in a field if I need to.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to go all the way to the right here. And we're going to bring the mixture back to lean. And that, sir, completes your mission. Great job.
Thank you, sir.
Now,
Thank
Gary,
you,
watch
sir.
your left leg. I'm going to put that little red bar out there. That's your control lock.